All right. Our next author tonight, Lisa Ard. Did I say that right? Okay, fantastic. Let me tell you just a little bit about her, because that's all there is, just a little bit. But she's going to do more, right?
That's right.
Awesome. Writing is an adventure for Lisa. It's been a long and winding journey to authoring a book. Here's some of that journey's highlights. She grew up in Wenatchee, Washington. Better look it up on the map, apparently, because it's the apple capital of the world. Fantastic. As a kid, she played lots of sports, enjoyed art and photography, read lots of books, still does, and dreamed of traveling the world. Lisa.
Okay, I have to test this out. Can you all hear me? Okay, good. Well, it's a pleasure to be here and to have an opportunity to read from my middle grade novel, Saving Halloween, just days before the holiday for which it's named. Actually, this has a dual meaning, this title, and it's one of the fun things that I tried to put into the book is that there's lots of duplicate meanings in the character names, the title, and the things that characters say. So I plan to read a little excerpt from this in just a bit, but I want to tell you first about how I got started writing and also about my first books. A couple years ago, after reading a lot of children's books to my own kids, I decided I wanted to give writing a try. And I started with a early reader series, and this is the first book, Fright Flight. This is a series about a little boy who's a dream seeker, which means that his dreams are real. So every night he goes to bed in hopes that he has a sweet dream rather than a living nightmare. It's high adventure, humorous, and very short, which is good for those emerging readers, ages 7 to 10. And the second book, Dream Team, picks up where the first left off, where Patrick has another dream adventure. And all of these books are good discussion books because they deal with kids growing up and problems that they have in growing up, whether it's exhibiting some self-control or changing voice or any other type of kid-related problems. So that's the Dream Seeker Adventure series, again for ages 7 to 10. When I started to write Saving Halloween, I was gearing it towards a reader 9 to 12. And I didn't really realize what I was doing until I got a ways into it. And I recognized that I was trying to emulate my favorite author, children's book author, Roald Dahl. So if you're familiar with Roald Dahl, he was the master at creating awful parents. So whether it was the ants in James and the Giant Peach or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and all the bad parents of the kids who end up going to tour the factory, Roald Dahl was a master. So in Saving Halloween, what I've tried to do is create a modern day look at some really bad parents. Ann Parson has parents that are not only career driven, they treat her like a disgruntled employee, one that they can outsource the parenting responsibilities to tutors and summer camp counselors and housekeepers, and they keep her on a very busy track trying to create a little mini me in their daughter. So Anne is overscheduled and in need of a family and in need of a friend right before the passage that I'm about to read you. Let's see. So Anne has just escaped her dreary afternoon tutor. She walked to the end of the long driveway and scooted across the 2-lane road. Ducking under the fence, Anne marched on through the just-mown hayfield. Her arms swung easily. The rich smell of hay wafted upward. With each determined step, clumps of dark soil gave way, as did the pressure, commitments, and responsibilities. Anne decided to walk out 40 minutes before turning toward home. That should allow her a margin of error of 10 minutes, plenty of time, according to her calculations. The end of the field led to row upon row of apple trees. Anne plunged into the shade of the tree canopy. Her skin tingled from the crisp, cool air. The October sun dappled through the branches, ripening the fruit. Anne dared to pick an apple. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Anne looked about. Who's there? A red-headed girl about Anne's size jumped down from a tree. I said I wouldn't do that. Too what? Anne asked. Take an apple. Feeling heady with her impetuous decision to escape afternoon lessons, Anne retorted, Why not? It's only one. A magical one, the girl said. Anne cocked her head to one side as the peculiar figure approached. Mother would not approve of black on such a young girl, particularly with her pale, freckled skin. The girl's dark dress draped her thighs, and her knobby knees showed through her green knit tights. The boots were fetching, though, with silver buckles near the ankles. Unlike other girls her age, Anne did not spend time at the mall or shop online. Her clothes were functional, suitable, and bland. If she hadn't been the best student in her school, one hardly would have noticed Anne Parson. I've been practicing my spells, and I'm pretty sure that apple you picked will turn your nose into a pickle. Anne smirked. Just holding it will. No, of course not. You've got to take a bite, the girl said. Go on, take a bite. And have my nose turn into a pickle? No, thanks. Anne held the infamous apple up to the light, feigning awe of the fruit. The girl furrowed her brow. You're making fun of me, aren't you? She stomped up the orchard lane. Wait, Anne hurried after her. I'm sorry. Anne caught up with the girl. Hey, what's your name anyway? You look about my age, but I don't know you from school. That's because I don't go to school. This was the most outlandish thing Anne had ever heard. She rushed on. But how can you not go to school? I just don't. Your parents don't care about your future? Why, the police would come take you away if they knew you didn't attend school. This stopped the tawny-haired girl momentarily. What do you mean, take me away? It's the law. Children have to go to school. Anne skipped along to keep up with the girl's quickening pace. Plus, how do you ever expect to go to college, get a well-paid, intellectually challenging career? Why, your life will have no meaning. The two girls broke out from beneath the tree cover. Across the grassy slope, Anne eyed the large, dark manor rising from the hilltop. The peaked roof held a corner turret and a smattering of chimneys. Sunshine shimmered on the black shale shingles that curved up at the roof's edges. The windows, framed with tall black shutters, glistened in the sunlight. Deep window boxes spilled over with pumpkin vines, teeming with bright orange flowers. Anne thought the overall effect was charming, in a spooky kind of way. Are you coming? The girl nudged Anne out of her stupor. You asked a question, so I assume you want an answer. Huh? What? You asked why I don't go to school. Let's ask Mama. The girl tramped on across the pasture, swatting the tall grass as she went. Besides, I smell cookies. So Anne Parson has a great adventure in Saving Halloween and ends up discovering the true meaning of friendship and what it means to find family. So I think this is a feel-good book for kids of all ages, and one that is good at any time of year, not just Halloween. I do want to mention that Chris Adams, who is a local illustrator, will be exhibiting his original artwork at the Downtown Powell's next month, so if you get a chance to see that. And I also want to give a call out to Majida Nelson, who did the original artwork for Fright Flight. And she, along with a dozen other illustrators, all associated with the Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators, will be on exhibit at the Multnomah County Library this winter. So I believe they're having an opening reception in December, close to the holidays. So if you get a chance to see that, a lot of really talented local folk. So, and I invite you to check out more about my books and me on my author website, authorlisar.com, and you can find out more about my author visits, which are free in the local area or free by Skype. And I offer writing workshops for kids in elementary and early middle school. So, thank you very much.